So to be completely honest with you, for the last, well, few months, the van has been running like shit. So Lance is gonna take it apart.
The jack is pretty thick and there's a really tight space to get in between the motor and the vehicle to pull it out. I was on the job site. This is my diesel mechanic apprenticeship. But
the thermostat doesn't even have one. You didn't take off a nut here, did you? Okay, so that's probably why it was running like shit.
Well, you might be wondering where this beautiful and very humble couple came from. Back in 2019, we spent the year building out our schoolie. After the build was done, we sold our house and traveled for a full year. Following that year of travel, we started to crave building again and getting something 4x4.
This is the last time the van's gonna start for a good while because the motor's coming out today. And you might ask why the motor's coming out. Well, this is how you start it every single time. Otherwise, it won't start. Starting fluid is not good for diesels. That's how much it smokes. So this bumper's not very light anymore. So I got this engine hoist now. So I'm just gonna hook a strap up to this top bar. So I'll probably just take this chain off. Pop tools out for the job.
This is Lance's new toolbox, and what did you just say about it, babe?
Which part?
Just like you've never had one like this.
Oh yeah, I've never had a small table toolbox like this. I've always had one that you kind of leave in place. And this one I have set where every tool I need is just on the top row, all like my sockets and stuff, and man, it's made things nice. I mean, having it right here where I'm saving 20 feet of walking a bajillion times a day, it helps you stay really organized and not walk like a mile more a day.
you should set them in shade. So we set up the moon shade for Lance. Now he has full shade.
Shaded and ready to go. Hello, my name is Lance and I am removing an engine. Watch me do it. So first I take this and it doesn't fit, and then I close this, and now I take this down here because it might fit better, and then I try it, and then it needs to be this one instead, and then I put it on, and then it, nope, just kidding, it's this one, and then now I need to grab a giant bar to break that loose because it's tight. I'm just slowly taking parts off, really noticing where things go. Kind of like my philosophy is if I can take a bolt off, I pull the part off and then I put the bolt back on to where I pulled that part off. So that way I don't have just a big bucket of parts or bin of parts, or bolts rather. All the bolts are still on those parts, are still on the motor, and when I go to put it back on, I just loosen it and put it back on. Pretty much everything's done. I've got all the AC lines unhooked, the fuel lines, wires. Now I'm just taking off the motor mounts, and then I'll kind of pull the motor up and we'll see which wires or fuel lines I forgot, because that's always how it is. And especially this motor's so caked in oil, it's really hard to see anything I'm doing, because I mean, some of these parts you're taking off a clump of oil just to find a bolt. Getting these motor mounts off, and then we'll pull it out to the street and try to get this motor all the way out.
Both phones so clean.
Very clean.
I don't think you should take a shower ever again.
Part of the reason why we're pulling the motor is because with these vans, in order to get the oil pan off to do an oil pan gasket, you actually have to pull the motor. This cross member here sits like a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch from the oil pan. I mean, you can pull the cab off, but then you still have to pull the motor up off of this subframe, or I guess cross member, and the cross member is welded to the frame. So you can't just unbolt the cross member. The oil pan's leaking like crazy, the front main seal's leaking, the rear main seal, and it's at the point where it's leaking so bad that it's kind of stopped the leaks because it's a scab. It's so caked in oil and dirt that it's like a scab over the seals.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Dilemma is getting it to actually fit and get outside. The jack is pretty thick and there's a really tight space to get in between the motor and the vehicle to pull it out.
The jack doesn't roll too, or this engine hoist doesn't roll too good on this. Yeah. Try going forward a bit. You still got a bolt on that. That much force, something's gonna break.
I don't want to jolt it.
I mean, I can see like the crane starting to Good morning. I'm just sitting here eating some breakfast. Yesterday kind of kicked my butt. I mean, it didn't feel like it was kicking my butt during the day, but waking up today, I am sore everywhere. That's not gonna stop me. I'm gonna keep going with this thing. We're gonna get the transmission out today. I don't have a transmission jack, or any jack for that matter. I have a bottle jack. So unfortunately, I think I need to go buy a jack from the store. But I kind of got to think of it in the way that if I were to pay someone to do this, it would cost 10 times more than just to do it myself. And I'm learning a lot on the process. The engine hoist is about this thick, and I have about that much room to work in. I have to have the chains like extremely tight, and I can't really get them that tight. So maybe I'll try to find like a chain binder or something like that. I was thinking of using like a heavy duty strap, but then the ratcheting mechanism's too big. I don't know, I think I'll figure something out.
All right, another day, another attempt to take the engine out.
I want to go on a truck with Daddy. We're going on a truck with Daddy.
Hank's so cute. We don't like to leave him out when we're moving vehicles because he's smart to avoid him. So we just put him in the orange truck and he rides with us. And that truck is his favorite thing on earth, I'm telling you.
He's your favorite thing, Hank? You're the best passenger.
I need to try to get the toolbox to the street.
Oh, it actually is rolling pretty good.
So Lance got the transmission out, and we're gonna attempt trying to pull it out, but he said that there's maybe like a 3% chance we'll actually get it out, because he might have to pull some other stuff off first. And as you can see, we purchased some sand because accidents happen, and you can try to be as clean as possible and try not to leak any fluids as much as possible. But that's not always the case.
That looks good, Bisk.
Can you just keep jacking that?
Jacking it. Jacking it.
We're gonna be coming in hot at live at 5.
Because we're gonna keep this on there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because
and if we get the motor out, the motor will be back here too.
Ally's on the job site. This is my diesel mechanic apprenticeship. Okay, so our biggest issue at the moment is
we can't get the motor high enough. The motor needs to be, so I'm thinking what happens is if I pull this off, this off, this off, then I can get the hoist right where the like fuel pump is, and then I can get it up.
And angled enough? Because this can't come off.
That's not the issue. It's the oil pan's the problem.
And it sucks we can't angle it and scoot it back enough to where you can pull the oil pan off in that crevice.
I can, but then
We're getting a new oil pan anyways, right?
yeah.
Just a thought. Just if that might be easier.
That's not the worst idea, actually. Because then what I could always do is when I go to put it back in, I just leave everything off the top, put it in, and then...
I mean, only if you think we can angle it that way.
But I think I would rather just take the shit off the top than crawl underneath.
And you think that'll give you 6 inches?
You want to get it inside the hose. They'll like seal, so you put that in there and you break the seal. There you go. Now kind of just go around in a circle.
What?
The thermostat in here doesn't even have one. Just took it all the way out.
So if GoPro couldn't hear that, Lance just discovered that the van hasn't even had a thermostat this whole time.
I mean, it has other ways of reading temperatures, but as far as like stopping the flow.
I'm wondering if this thing's connected to something.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Is my apprenticeship over?
No. 7 more years.
I got it out!
Sweet, just set it in the bed.
It's too bright for you to see my face, but Allie just took this out.
Hey, Allie.
Yeah.
Can you come here? You didn't take off a nut here, did you?
No.
Okay, so that's probably why it was running like shit.
What is it?
This is supposed to sit, there's supposed to be a solenoid here,
Yeah.
and this sits on there, and then a nut sits there. So we're missing an entire solenoid here.
What does a solenoid
And
do?
it tells this motor how much oil pressure it has, and that's how these motors run completely.
So it's just pumping fuck tons of oil in?
It just didn't know what the fuck to do. So that's more than likely.
Well, that's
our
good
entire
that
issue.
we see
Yeah.
that though.
Yeah, that's the, wow. Incredible. There is a thing that it goes through, but we need to be on top, like we're doing right now.
This is just getting too tall for this chain.
We're gonna grab this bolt.
It didn't go through.
You think you have a nut in there? Well, I'm just struggling getting it pulled towards me.
Okay.
This jack stand doesn't roll very good. I think I can.
No, you're getting it, babe.
That turbo at one point sucked up a bolt or something. It dug itself a hole.
It's a workhorse.
Keep coming. Keep coming. Good. I just needed to get it out of. I literally dug a hole into the concrete.
Oh my god.
Is it stuck on anything?
No. Ow. The wheels just aren't rolling.
We want to try to get enough room so I can just snake the truck back in here.
Oh, okay.
you jack it up.
Oh, this fell off.
I know. Don't put it on there. You'll drop the motor. It goes in the little hole above to the right. There you go. If you were to twist that, it would drop the motor.
That'd be bad. You're good. And that's a problem?
That's why don't get mad at me, Allie. I'm just trying to
No,
stop a crisis.
Can the truck take the weight?
Questionable.
You want me to pull on this?
Yeah. Is it on attached to that ball?
No. Oh, the bottom of the truck I think is on it.
Truck's sitting so low.
I think so.
You serious?
Look right there.
Oh, it is. Shit. Oh, the hitch is there. It's pretty on there.
Let's do just one more for safe measures. Because this truck is going to catch a lot of speed, so we need to be careful.